Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to create these amazing never-ending cards. I'm using the brand new Close to My Heart collection called Let's Party. These make really fun cards that are great for kids, but even adults are amazed by how they work. I've put this together and I still can't tell you how it works. Let's take a look at it. Look at how it's just never ending. You can continually flip it over and over again, and it goes back to the beginning. It's really amazing, and you will be surprised at how easy it really is to create this. Okay, so let's get started. First, you need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 6 inches by 6 inches. You can see it's 6 inches across and 6 inches high. I'm using Bluebird and Candy Apple. You can use 2 different colors or you can use the same color. I'm just using 2 different colors to so you can see the difference. And this is a piece of white daisy, and I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This is the piece that I'm going to stamp the sentiment and a design on. And also, I'll make a second piece that I'm going to sign. Okay, so there's the first piece. And then I'll cut another piece. I'm just using scraps that I had. Okay, so again, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. That's white. If you don't want to use that, or if you want to use a sticker, or if you want to use paper, that's fine. This is a piece of Sundance cardstock, and I'm cutting it 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. And you will need 4 pieces. So since I'm going with like the primary colors on this card, I'm using the Sundance here. So you need 4 of those. And then you need 4 pieces of Sundance that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So square, 1 1/4 square. 4 of these. Didn't have quite enough on that one scrap. So I'll cut another one. 1 1/4. These could be pattern paper if you want to, but you'll see where I put them on my card and then you can decide. Okay, this is our brand new color, Jade, and you need pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Again, you will need 4 of these. So you can see my color scheme is the primary colors. I have blue, red, yellow, and then I'm using green. So 4 pieces of the Jade. I love this new color, Jade. And then I need 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, here's the second piece. And I kind of did a little, my blade kind of popped there, so I'm not going to use that one because I don't like how the edge was a little bit, not even. I don't think my piece of Jade that I started with was square to begin with. I think that's why it's giving me trouble. Okay, so I have 3 pieces. Now let's get the 4th piece. So 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So there we have it. Again, that was Jade. And now you're going to need some pattern paper. You need 6 different designs, and these are going to be cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So here's 2 pieces. Isn't this design fun? This little blocks sort of design. This is sort of a birthday themed paper, but you could see right there that those pages do not necessarily have to be birthday. This one has a birthday cake, so yes, that's going to be maybe birthday themed, but you need 6 pieces of this. And remember, our paper is 2-sided, so I cut 2 pieces from each of our double-sided designs, and I have 6 pages total. Okay, now we are going to score those 6 by 6 pieces, and I'm going to score it at 1.5 and then 4.5, or you can just flip it around and do 1.5 again. So score it at 1.5 on both sides, and then do the same thing with the blue. 1.5 and 4.5, or 1.5 and flip it around 180 degrees. Okay, so that is scored. And now what we're going to do is we are going to fold in the edge pieces to make a gatefold type card. And if you score it at 1.5 on each side, these should meet in the middle. Okay. I'm going to flip this one the other way because our paper is two-toned, darker on one side and lighter on the other, and I wanted the darker side to be on the outside. Okay, now we are going to cut those pieces, turn them 90 degrees, and you're going to be cutting them at 3 inches, so in half, across the fold. So you get 2 smaller sort of gatefold cards. Do that to both pieces. Again, we're cutting it at 3 inches, cutting it in half. Now lay out the red or whatever the first color that you are using. Lay them horizontally, and then lay the second color or the second piece, if you're using the same color, to the right and to the left of the horizontal pieces and put them in a vertical orientation. Okay, and now we are going to put adhesive on the top right corner. And here I'm using score tape because I wanted it to be fairly sturdy, since you can flip this card over and over and over and over again. So I wanted it to be really strong. On my sample card, I did just use regular tape runner adhesive, and it has been staying, just fine. Here I'm just using score tape just to make sure that it is sturdy. And you just want it in the corners of each of the pieces. You see the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Okay, so put them back in position. Again, the red I have going horizontally and the blue pieces are going vertically on each side. I'm taking the backing off of the adhesive. Sometimes the score tape can be a little bit difficult to get the backing off. I've almost got it. There we go. Okay, now you're going to take the one piece that's going vertical and apply it to that top left corner. Make sure you have it lined up really well. And then put the bottom, line it up, the bottom left of the blue, the bottom left of the red, get them lined up. Okay, remember the red is going horizontal and the blue is going vertical. And now on the other side, put the other piece right on top, line up the corners. And that is all that there is to it, to this magic. This is what's really amazing to me. Okay, and now what you want to do is work it a little bit. Okay, fold it open, use your bone folder to, score the pieces a little bit to make it easier to fold. This is what makes it, open in all of the directions. Okay, once you do that, once you sort of burnish it with your bone folder, kind of work it a little bit, just open it in all the directions to make sure that you've got it really nice and loose. Okay, now I'm going to start with the blue going vertically. But first, let's stamp our sentiment. I'm using the happy birthday from the Jawsome birthday set because I like the font on this happy birthday. This is called Jawsome Birthday, and it is retired, but the number is Z3966. I just like the size of it and the font. And I'm stamping this on the white daisy square. And I'm going to just do it in intense black because I'm going to be using it for the image that I'm stamping in a little bit. And I use intense black anytime I want to use alcohol markers, which is what I used on my sample. But you'll see on this one, I decided to use the colored pencils, the new colored pencils that we have, just to show you the difference. So there's happy birthday. Clean it off on my stamp cleaner there, and I always put my stamps away whenever I use them so that they don't get lost. Okay, and now I'm going to use the seasonal haul stamp set. This is retired also. Its number is Z4655. And I'm using the presents there. I thought that was a nice shape. It fit right on that square. That's why I decided to use it. So I'm using the intense black in case I want to use the markers. But as I said, you'll see in a little bit, I decided to use the colored pencils since those are new products. And I have a sample with the markers. I thought I'd try a sample with the colored pencils. Okay, clean that one off. And then on the other white daisy piece, this is what I'm using for to sign. So you can just sign it or write a little note. But I'm also going to use the stamp set that's called Party Time Gathering. It's another retired set, but I like these balloons, so I wanted to use those. I'm just going to put a little bit of balloons on there and then leave a space for me to sign. But again, you could just sign it. You could just write a little note, whatever you want. I'm using the Bluebird ink so that my balloons are blue. But what I think is fun about these balloons is they're kind of like they are scribbled on. I don't know, can you see how the shape of the balloon really looks like it was scribbled on with a crayon or something? There's some splotches on it. And then it's got this cute little string that you can have hanging down. That's a really thin line, so make sure you get it on there really well and in the right position. And again, I'm using the intense black to make the string. I like how they're separate pieces so that you can make them different colors. Okay, then I realized that my string is going to hang down below the piece of cardstock, so I'm going to put a little paper underneath so that I don't get ink on my mat. And that is just my Versa mat that is flipped over. On the back of the Versa mat, it's the spongy, so it makes it a really nice stamping surface. Okay, so here I've left enough room there on the bottom to just, sign my name. Clean off your stamps first. Always clean off your stamps before you put them away. Okay, now I'm going to color. You can see these are the brand new colored pencils. I did speed this up a little bit so you didn't have to watch me color that all in. But I think these presents are so cute. I love that you've got the wrapping paper and then you've got the bow on each of them. And I'm trying to make a variety, still use the primary colors, but make all of the boxes different. That's a little box on the top of the bigger box there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that was the red. I'm going to use some yellow. Again, I'm trying to keep to those primary colors. Coloring in the second box. Now let's make the third one. Adding some blue. This one's going to be a blue ribbon. It matches that bluebird. I really like that. I like that color blue. Making that present have a blue ribbon. Then a blue box down there underneath. These colored pencils are really great. They're a wax base. They color so smoothly. You'll see that you don't see the lines when you color with these. You know, when you color, sometimes with colored pencils, you can still see all of the lines. With these, it blends so smoothly. It's so nice. I'm using the second box that's called Landscapes because they have so many greens to choose from. So I'm coloring this gift green. So again, going with that primary color scheme, I have the red, the blue, the yellow, and then I also use the green. But you can stamp any sentiment, and you can use any stamped image there and color it in. You could stamp images, you can use stickers, you could use whatever you want there. Okay, here's where you see that I can sign my name. I left a little spot there to sign. Okay, now we're going to decorate. Start with the blue paper in the vertical position if you're following along the colors that I used. Okay, and I am putting the happy birthday because I'm considering this to be the front of the card. Then I'm going to put two of those pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. These are the Sundance pieces. Putting it in the top left corner and then in the bottom right corner. And you can use pattern paper for these pieces if you want to, or you can do like I did and just make these pieces the solid cardstock. That way it doesn't get too busy because there is a lot going on this card. So that's why I like having the solid pieces. Okay, now I'm putting the Jade pieces. Again, these are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm putting this in the top right and the bottom left. And then I'm going to put one of the pattern papers here in the last spot that's open. And I decide to put the one with the banners. This paper collection is so fun. It's so bright, and it's really perfect for anybody. It's perfect for kids, it's perfect for adults. It can be masculine or feminine. And actually, if you use just certain of the pieces, it doesn't even have to be birthday. It can be, any graduation, if you use graduation colors. Just depends on the paper that you choose. Okay, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait, this is not the side that I want it to be on. Let's compare it to my sample. This is the side that I'm looking for, the red. Okay, so I'm putting that jade piece on the top left. And then another jade piece on the bottom right. And then some of the Sundance. Those pieces were 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. And you can see on these, I'm just using regular adhesive because this adhesive is not holding the whole structure of the card together. Okay, I decide to use the part where I signed. That's sort of, I'm considering this like the back of the card. So that's why I have the signed piece here, and then another one of the pattern papers with this little confetti. So on the front, I have the happy birthday stamp, and then on the back here, I've got the signature. And then these ones are just sort of design pieces. So in the blue squares there, I'm going to be using the pattern paper. So here you can see I'm using the piece that has the like the birthday cake and the party hat. That part is showing, and it's got a little cupcake there, it looks like. And then the other side, it says yay. And then here's where we're going to use the pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to get 2 of the Sundance pieces and 2 of the Jade pieces. And these are going to go in each of the corners. So I'm putting the Jade in the upper right, and then the bottom left. And then I'll put the Sundance in the top left and the bottom right. But you can see how nicely it matches with the pattern paper. Remember, all of our paper collections use the same exclusive colors. So the coordinating cardstock match exactly with the pattern paper because it's made from the same color scheme. Now on this one, we're going to leave those openings blank because you'll see here is where we're going to adhere the paper. So we're going to put the check and the diagonal stripe pattern paper on this side. Now this is the side that you want to be careful the paper or the design that you put on here, because if you remember from the position it was in the previous fold, part of that will be covered up by the blue paper. So if you have something where you're going to have, say, a creature, like say a cat or a dog, half of that, the part in the middle, is going to be covered up. So if you have something there that has a design, you might lose, say, the head of the dog if you have that on the bottom piece of paper, or the feet of the dog if you have that on the top paper there. So you'll see what I mean when you try it, but this is the orientation where you really need to pay attention to what paper or what design, or if you put stamped images or whatever on here, because it will be partially covered up. Okay, and the last piece, the last Jade piece, we're going here. And then it is all finished. There we go. Isn't that fun? And look how easy it was. If you like any of the products that I talk about in this video, you can go to thecraftychemist.closetomyheart.com. I have a Facebook page, Crafty Chemist Designs, where I go live every Sunday at 4 p.m. where I do a project like this. I have a Facebook VIP group that I invite you to join. It's called The Crafty Chemist Presents CTMH. There you can ask questions, post your artwork. I try to keep up with things that might be going out of stock, or if things came back in stock, I post on there. And I do have an Instagram and TikTok. So don't forget to follow this page, this YouTube channel. And thanks for watching.